Afternoon, everyone. We will go ahead and call the Public Facilities Committee meeting to order on February 17, 2026. It is 4 p.m. If you will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All righty, thank you. Sarah, we are all set with compliance with FOIA?
Yes, sir, we are.
Perfect. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Ms. Howard, seconded by Ms. Brown. Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to take item G, 8G, and I would like to move it to be item 7.5 as a discussion item,
I'll second that for you.
right after the Assistant County Administrator report.
All right, just so we're all clear, we are moving that item, which is to do with boat ordinances and docks. That is going to be moved up behind the county administrator's report, and it will actually be changed from an action item to a discussion item. So no action will be taken on that today. I know a lot of you came out to speak on that. That is the only reason we did not extend the public comment period, is because we knew we were going to have this discussion along with other discussions as well. And we'll go into that a little bit more when we get to the item itself. Do we have any objection to approve that? All right, that will be approved with no objection.
Thank you.
I actually have one as well. If you guys would be so inclined, I will make the amendment to remove item F and send it back to staff for future discussion as we have other discussions.
I'll second that.
Right. Do we have any objection to remove item F from the agenda?
Question.
Yes, sir.
Why?
We can have that discussion, absolutely. The reason I'm removing this item is, one, because I think it's targeting one item or one memorial in Bluffton in my area, and that has not had full discussion with the town of Bluffton as well as the owner of the memorial.
Okay.
All right. Is this approved with no objection to remove item F?
Yes.
All right, item F will be approved. Do we have any other discussions on the agenda, or can we approve the agenda as amended with the two amendments?
I move we do that.
All right, the agenda will be approved with the two amendments.
I made the motion to approve the
Ms.
agenda.
Brown was the second. Oh, sorry.
That's okay, yeah.
All right, and we'll move on to number 5, the approval of the minutes from January 20th, 2026. Do we have a motion?
I could certainly make that motion.
Thank you. And the second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion? This will be approved with no objection. All right, we'll move on to public comment. I do have 5 names up here. First one, I'm not going to struggle with last names because nobody up here has the first name, so I'll start with Josh. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. Just so you know, you'll have 3 minutes on the clock. They'll put that up there, and the floor is yours, sir, if you just state where you're from.
I am from, my address is 100 Brahms Point Road, which is not on a road. It's Buck Island, so there are no roads to it. I use the public dock at the Cross Island Bridge very often. Well, I used it very often when we remodeled the home on the island. Now we don't use it so much anymore. But my concerns with this particular things are basically the barge use. We do occasionally use our own barge. We're tide restricted. It's the only way we have to get fuel oil. It's the only way we have to get like all of our stuff on and off the island, you know. And we have no other place to. We need a very small barge because of the size of our island, so we're incapable of using like the extremely large barges that some of the marinas have. There are a few commercial barges. Some of them are here today, and they're awesome. And we use them occasionally to get things on and off the island. My concern was it was number. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous here. it would be a dramatic change. And one of these things, it says that it wouldn't allow non-commercial use of the dock as well for loading passengers. And we often use it for loading passengers because we only have one way to get on and off the island, really, at least when we have things. So my mom, when she comes and does gardening and she brings her dirt and everything, we use that dock. And we load up the boat and we take it to the island, and then she gardens. But I would like to see an exception for that, an exception for these barges that do come. They're professional, commercial. They're fantastic. They do a great job. We couldn't do it without them. I'm so grateful that we found them. It's a new. My understanding is it's a relatively new company, and it would, if they weren't allowed to use this, I don't know that it would exist. They also service Defusky and other places. But my main concern is this verbiage redefining of a passenger to be non-commercial as well, which would eliminate essentially me inviting any of you guys to come visit the island because I couldn't pick you up, and I couldn't pick up my mom. I couldn't pick up my niece and nephews. I couldn't. It's not that I couldn't have visitors because I could figure out a way to sneak up somewhere maybe and pick somebody up, but it's a part. It says, what is this? 10231 landing rules. B
You're good.
is where it says non-commercial, and that is thing. And it does have an exemption here for for cargo going to Defusky. If we could just add and Buck Island, that would be fantastic, so that we could be assured that we have a way to get whatever back and forth. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, next one up is Mark.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good.
My name is Mark Panzich. I live on Hilton Head. I own and operate Cross Island Cruises, a small tour boat company on Hilton Head. I'm fully licensed, fully insured, member of the Chamber of Commerce. My vessel, my passengers, any dock that I operate on has full liability insurance. This process has been going on now for 6 months. The initial attempt to ban commercial activity at public landings was quietly introduced during the abandoned boat discussion and was soundly rejected after strong public response. Now, to be very clear, the current ordinance does allow for commercial activity. Since then, you guys, the attorneys, staff, and members of the public have invested a significant amount of time and taxpayer-funded resources working towards a clear, more balanced ordinance. There have been multiple drafts, revisions, and public discussions, and the version that you guys have before you today may not be perfect, but it establishes clear, enforceable standards that reasonable operators can follow. Now, past couple of days, we've been hearing about a whole separate proposal being carved out Hilton Head and impose special restrictions on certain docks. Now, there's only one dock that actually applies to. The other two, one is a crabbing pier, and the other is a place where john boats get in and out of, maybe kayaks. But it's primarily the dock that leads towards the easiest access out to Calabogie Sound and to Defusky. So if this was truly about an infrastructure issue or a liability, this would be something that would be applied countywide, and they're limiting it to just 2 or 3 landings. If this was about protecting public access, it wouldn't be redirecting residents and visitors through private marina gates just to reach the public waterways. Independent commercial operators, we are not a burden on this society or on the infrastructure. We operate responsibly, we assist other boaters daily, and we contribute to safe, productive use of these facilities. If you're looking for an alternative to help correct the issues that we have or to help with the enforcement, I am perfectly happy with discussing a permit policy, insurance requirements that you guys might require to make sure that you guys are covered. But the idea of completely eliminating this concept of a small independent operator to go solely through these larger marinas, it's going to hurt a lot of people. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, Michael Hubbard. He came up to me beforehand and talked. He's giving his slot up.
Good
Yes,
evening,
sir.
Council. My name is Jeff Gale, as Mike just stated. I'm with Defusky Island Transport. My brother and I started a barge company here just a little over a year ago out of a necessity here for the island. We're one of several small barge operators. I know Josh is as well with Buck Island. And we do use the Cross Island boat landing as our embarkation to and from Defusky Island, along with Defusky Island's public boat landing as well. So we're here today to speak against the proposal that we recently heard about from the private group, which would eliminate commercial activities at county-owned dock facilities that are located here on Hilton Head. We would like to speak for the new proposed language in section 102-31E, which exempts barges to Defusky from being denied use of the public boat landings. And to Josh's point, add in Buck Island as well for that. But it's often said that passenger boats move people, but barges move island's economy. And that's what we do every week. So some of our customers, weekly, we service 3 restaurants on the island. We transport tools for contractors, feed for farm animals and wildlife programs, and mainly any essential supplies that island residents need to maintain their home. As far as efficiency, it's really our primary focus. It's the only way we can eliminate costs or cut down costs is being efficient. So, local contractors, plumbers, electricians, service crews, people who pay, taxes to Beaufort County, they rely on us. We do a same-day service. We can drop them off at 8 a.m. in the morning, pick them up at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Because we manage the entire logistics chain from our warehouse, we have a warehouse located on Hilton Head Island that we can receive, to the final drop-off. We provide reservation-based on-demand service, which is unique for that market. Currently, nobody else is providing that type of service. Regarding stewardship of the public landings, I know that's a big concern. We are fully insured. Our captains are licensed, and we do have bill of ladings for all the supplies that we transport on that barge. To protect the boat ramps, certain things, our loads don't exceed anything like a normal boat would be. So we're not having heavy equipment on board, and our barge has protective impact wear to protect the boat landing there. But, basically we take about 5 or 10 minutes to load the barge and then we're off. So we're not really impacting, and recreational boaters have priority. And I will leave it at that, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, David? How are you today?
Good. My name is David Spar. I'm from Hilton Head. I came to listen tonight, but I was prompted to talk, so keep it short. I probably have run, I don't know, maybe 600 or more fishing trips out of probably 3 major marinas on the island. And as an operator, I tried to go back and have a business plan, different things, and talk and actually get into these marinas. And I was denied certain criteria of the boat, no parking. They're just not taking anymore. The one marina, pretty major marina at the time, scaled down from like 6 boats down to 3. And I thought maybe they might want another one, and I was declined. So just recently talked to a harbor master and was declined by the parking. The main reason why I came up here to listen tonight was I've been on both sides of this. This has been going on for me I've heard about it, maybe 30 years. So at one time I was a proponent in the marina. Like I said, I was on that side of the ball game, but around COVID, certain things happened at the marina that I was at, ended up coming out for whatever reason, and so I decided to go on my own. And so I had to, when you develop business right away, there's something that an app that has come out to get business, and it seems to be the new way to to get business in my business a good way. So I decided to do that. On there, you're not allowed to accept trips or be a part of their program without meeting a list of criteria that I hear talked about in the last meeting and this meeting, so I have all that. The one thing that I was denied, and I have not been able to get, was a business license. And I still have that letter to this day. I was prompted to let that go. It's not the best practice, but that would be something that, our accountant asks for it every year. So, that's money that, it's not a lot of money, but it's money that the county could be getting for different situations. And just wanted to say that I do appreciate, these are old laws or rules or whatever you want to call them. The council has seemed to me seems to be wanting to upgrade it and come into today's times. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
Chairman, just one question. Could you get us that letter of denial?
We don't
I
speak.
don't have it with me, like I said.
Oh,
You're good.
okay.
Public
Yep,
comment.
Sorry.
We just let them do public comment.
Very good. Sorry.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, last one, Corey Cunningham. Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. Good afternoon, council members. Thank you for letting me speak. Appreciate that. My name is Corey Cunningham. I've been boating on the waters of Beaufort County since 1987, and I've made my living here as a captain since earning my U.S. Coast Guard license in 2010. Like many of the small operators, local operators who work from the Cross Island Boat Landing, Hilton Head isn't just where I work, it's my community. Those of us who operate from the landing share a strong sense of dockside custodianship. We help each other, we move efficiently, and we make sure the public can launch and retrieve without delay. Because we're there every day, we have a direct stake in keeping things safe, orderly, and welcoming. From my firsthand experience, significant congestion simply isn't the reality. When I run trips, I typically arrive 15 to 20 minutes early and have ample time to launch, park, load passengers, and clear the dock. If the ramp were routinely backed up, this wouldn't be possible. I'm happy to provide recorded or live dash cam footage from my truck so anyone can see a normal day for themselves. I have a Wi-Fi code if anybody wants it, I'm happy to share. Some of the concerns being raised about safety and access don't match what we experience on the ground. Also including sites without proper facilities for charter activity, specifically Marshland Road, a dirt ramp with no dock, and Old House Creek, a crabbing pier with no dock, is misleading. This alliance unfairly characterizes the handful of local businesses that rely on this landing, I feel. I want to be very clear about who we are. We are licensed, insured professionals. We operate reasonably, and we contribute to the local economy and maritime culture. We also believe there's room for everyone. Growth in our community should not require pushing out small, locally owned operators who have long served residents and visitors alike. At its core, this issue is about maintaining fair public access and making decisions based on real conditions, not assumptions. One of the reasons the public landing works smoothly is because the people who use it daily take pride in keeping it running smoothly. I am open to county permits to help verify credentials as well to help fund maintenance. That could be a good solution that Patrick had mentioned. Thank you for your time and your service and for considering the perspective of those of us who work on these waters every day. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, with that, we will close the public comment and move on to the Assistant County Administrator report. How are you, Jared?
Doing great. Thank you. Just have a quick update, an item that came out of Finance Committee meeting and discussion as far as the update on the ARW hangar and the ARPA funding. So the ARPA funding, there's $1.5 million that was attributed to the airports for ARPA funding, and the plan for that was to be put towards the hangars, specifically at ARW. The current project, we have a current project going on right now for the site work of those hangars, not for the vertical construction. The total project cost is about $2 million, just a little bit less than $2 million. And if you recall, we received a 70-30 split grant with SCAC, South Carolina Aeronautics Commission. So they were putting in about 1.4, and then we were putting in about $600,000 for our share. Of that 600,000 was coming out of the 1.5 for the ARPA allocation. So the project is ongoing right now. We're probably about a month away from having asphalt down and getting close to substantial completion. So we're still getting final draw. Asphalt obviously is one of the most expensive parts of the project. So we'll start to see those invoices come in and pay applications for that work. And that will be the first 600 out of the 1.5 that we'll really see come off of the board. The remaining part of that ARPA allocation was for the vertical construction, and as you guys are aware, we don't have a finalized plan for how we are going to construct all of the hangar, the actual buildings. So we're still working through that. We're coordinating with finance, and that's the update as far as the ARPA expenditure for the airports. That's all that I have to report. Unless you have any questions, I'll be glad to take those.
Any questions for Jared?
All right.
Day for you.
Take it. Thank you
It's
very
a
much.
first. All right, we will move on to the new item of 7.5 or 7A, and that is, bear with me, an ordinance amending Beaufort County Ordinance Chapter 102 Waterways, Article 1, Sections 102-1, Definitions, Article 2, Divisions 1, Section 102-27, Purpose, Section 102-28, Penalties, Section 102-29, General Prohibitions, Section 102-30, Dock Rules, Section 102-31, Landing Rules, Division 2, Section 102-61, Description of Division 3, Section 102-95, Description, Section 102-98, Penalties, Section 102-99, General Prohibition, Section 102-100, Dock Rules, Section 102-101, Landing Rules, Article 3, Section 102-133, Definitions, Section 102-134, Penalties, Section 102-136, Student Riders, Section 102-137, Public Ridership. The day I don't have to read that anymore, I will be very happy. Just for clarification, again, this is moved as a discussion item, no longer an ordinance. Do I have a motion to put discussion on the floor?
I'll make the motion.
Second that.
Thank you. Mr. Kidd, how are you, sir?
Doing well, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, committee. Good to be with you again discussing the Waterways Ordinance Articles 1 through 3. As the chair has set forth in the motion reflected, this was originally set to be an action item today after having gone to PFC for discussion in November and in January. However, we did receive communication from the town manager at the town of Hilton Head who would like to have some discussions with us about the landings located within the town before we take any action. And it is for that reason that I believe we've made the motion to amend the agenda here and have this as a discussion item today. As you'll see in the backup materials, and to the extent you'd like to discuss what we've done since the January meeting, I'm certainly happy to do so. We kept the proposed changes that came to PFC on January the 20th, and those were the green highlights and the legend that we've created there at the top of the draft. We have also added the items highlighted in red to the definition section, and then correspondingly to 102.29. Those were some additional definitions pertaining to specific types of charters that were discussed by Mr. Bartholomew at that time. We took a look at it and gave the language our best shot to give effect to those proposals. So what we have today is a reflection of what we have gone through for the past many months, I think, as everyone here is aware. We do today, I'm aware that we have some folks from the Low Country Waterways Alliance that are seeking to present some additional language that they would like to see included to you all as well. That is not currently contained within what staff has proposed here. I'm happy to talk about, to answer any questions or discuss any specifics about the actions or any changes that staff has made within the proposed amended Waterways Ordinance Articles 1 through 3 this afternoon, if there are any.
Let's go with questions with you first, then see, I believe it's a short presentation, any discussions there, and then we'll have final comment. Does that work? Keep it organized? All right, does anybody have any questions for Dylan on the updated that's been put out? All right. Well, there might be some in a minute then.
I would say, just to respond to the gentleman who had a concern about non-commercial passengers, we don't have any restrictions in here on totally private passengers being picked up by a private owner of a watercraft or vessel. The definition that was changed was pertaining to commercial passengers, and I think on 102.31, it's a little bit of a double negative there, talking about that's a parking section, I believe, if I'm reading correctly, and 102.31, those subparts A, B, and C under the parking regulations that talks about unloading non-commercial boating passengers. That permits the unloading so you're not permitted to landing and unloading non-commercial boating passengers, et cetera, but that's pertaining to the parking regulations. There's no restriction about taking your own private passengers to and from on your own vessel. Just want to make that clear, and we can certainly look at how we can make that abundantly clear within the ordinance to the extent there's any confusion about that.
I do have a question. I think we had talked about a permit early on. It seems like every time this comes up, there's another group that seems to be either excluded or impacted, and I'm glad we're working on this. I know it's taking time. I feel like we're avoiding some of the unintended consequences of passing it too quickly, but what are your thoughts on a permit structure?
It's something that I think we'd probably have to coordinate through multiple departments. I think it would probably be something where we'd have to get business licensing involved. I think it's certainly a viable option if committee and council wish to look into that. I think it would be a more substantial undertaking than what we have put forth here, just because it would require a system for intake, verification, management, enforcement, and all of those things that go with it. But it is certainly an option. I can see how committee and council might feel it has its benefits, and I think it depends on the extent to which committee and council want to get more involved in this space and devote more resources to this space. But I could certainly see the advantages of it if that's something you wanted to do.
Yes.
Just to add to what Mr. Kitt's saying is late this afternoon, Captain Phil Smith put together that just program that is out of Sarasota, Florida, and other places. It came in so late that it didn't make our backup package, but it talks about all the piers having fees, having a kiosk-type system, nothing too difficult or costly to get together. But to Councilman Bartholomew, we've got a lot to do before we start passing another ordinance that doesn't get enforced. So I can't even ask the question, did anybody get to see that today at all on this council? We did. Okay, good. So I think that would, from what I've read, and we've spent a lot of time, I think we can take a look at that, and that may be some common sense for some common ground, I hope, Okay?
And lest I forget, another thing I wanted to respond to with the gentleman from Buck Island, I would be happy to change. I know we have a carve out for Defusky pertaining to the barges section. We could certainly add any area that is not accessible by land to that. I think that absolutely meets the intent of what we were trying to do there.
Mr. Chair, would you need a motion to do that, or just direct?
Not at this stage, no. I mean, if it's the direction of committee, we could certainly do that before we bring it back as an action item.
I think exactly what you just said makes sense. If you can't get there by a car, kind of need something to get supplies out there.
Sure.
All right, I think we will slide on over to the presentation then. Ms. Rath, how are you?
Good afternoon. Heather Rath for the record on behalf of Low Country Waterways Alliance. Patrick Coughlin, behalf of Low Country Waterways Alliance, and also owner of Low Country Water Sports and a couple other local businesses.
Thank you so much, Chairman, for allowing us to speak. So we've heard a lot today. A lot of information came in at the last minute from Captain Phil, along with Mark Orlando with the town of Hilton Head Island, sending this letter to County Administrator Moore. Instead of moving forward with what we were looking at, which was the carve-out for Hilton Head Island, I've heard some really great stuff today from Corey and Mark from Cross Island Cruises. Sorry, I apologize, Mark. And here's what I would propose to y'all today. And we're happy to take any questions as we submitted the amendment language. But instead of going down that path, why don't you allow the Alliance to work with Corey and Mark and your town staff while those conversations are happening with the town of Hilton Head Island and county council staff? And why don't you let us come to the table with something that resembles the permit that they all just mentioned?
Chairman, just one thing. I just want to tell you right now, this councilman is pleased that everybody is getting involved with this from all sides. No matter what takes place, this is going to be a tremendous ordinance down the road, and we want to thank you for your efforts and everybody here that wrote us and put this in. So the only thing I encourage, whether it be Dylan on the legal side, look at all aspects. Look at every single moving part before we do anything, before we put anything in draft, and then we'll stop a lot of this stuff right here. But again, very pleased with what you're all doing. Thank you.
I would think my only, I won't say reservation, but encouragement of it, I'm all for working openly and getting things progressed in the right direction. I would just ask that if we're going to do that and work together with our staff and 2 other groups, that if that's taking my lead, I want to know from our staff if they want to handle the scheduling or if you want to handle the scheduling or how that wants to go. But I just want to make sure that we have some way to get that done where it doesn't burden our staff to like start from ground one. It would be my only thing.
Totally understand, Councilman Cunningham. I didn't even think about this until 5 minutes ago when I heard from Corey and Mark saying maybe we should entertain the permit process. We heard from Captain Phil via email to y'all this afternoon. Let's get this permit and fee process going. We're willing to come to the table on that as well. So I wanted to offer that. If y'all don't want that, that's okay. We can just proceed as is, but I did want to offer that in good faith.
Mr. Moore, Brian?
I just would caution you that you shouldn't just open it up to one organization. If there's other organizations that have opposing views, they should be invited to the table as well. If you're going to open it up, hear from everybody.
That was my point to Dylan, was to make sure we get every single aspect to this so we don't come back here every committee meeting and say, let's postpone it. So it makes sense.
David?
I think my suggestion would be to open up the portal again for public comment to come in. That way it's a transparent and open to everyone. I think y'all did that. Dylan, where'd Dylan go? Yeah, sorry. I think y'all did that portal to open up public comment. Do you think that would be the most effective way rather than singling out one particular group? Okay.
That's one good aspect, but perhaps you want to consider whether or not council or this committee would have a workshop to run it, because we take our guidance from council.
Right.
I'm happy to have a workshop on it. Sorry to interrupt.
Sorry. And Chairman Cunningham, if you'd like, I mean, we don't necessarily have to work directly with your staff. If you want the Low Country Waterways Alliance and Corey and Mark, who just spoke, to come together and then present something jointly to staff, we're happy to do that as well. I think that we're all kind of getting to the same page, so we can work on that. Again, just an idea. Or workshop, or a combination of both.
Thinking the idea of a workshop makes sense, but if we put it out far enough where you guys can meet ahead of time and come with us with some type of common ground, or any other groups that come through the portal, then that workshop can be meaningful and beneficial to actually bring something together. So I would think that would be the idea. So if we're going to put this workshop together, I think we're looking no closer than 30 to 60 days to give you guys time to schedules, talk about ideas. And I'll be honest, I know we've put Dylan through the ringer for like 6 months. So somebody owes him a nice dinner when this is all said and done. We've sent him back to the table many, many times, and he's been working hard too. So thank you for that. If that is the will of council, Brian, yes.
May I just suggest that any group that thinks that they want to participate in making a presentation at a workshop should reach out through the portal to make it known, so Dylan and John are aware of those groups and they can coordinate that. And then I guess I'd point out that Dylan, that dinner would probably be at Station 300 if I had to guess.
No, that would be snacks.
And Chairman, I don't know how y'all are going to handle the letter from Orlando with Mr. Moore, but I'm assuming that will be a staff to staff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Let's do this then. Obviously, we're on a discussion item. You guys handle your discussion, get together, create your group. We will reopen the portal. Do we need a motion for a date for that workshop? Or do we need any action on that part? Or can we just direct staff to pull some dates together for us?
Given guidance for a workshop, and we'll coordinate with the chairman and the chair of council to set a date for it that's convenient.
Me.
And Sarah. Alice, do you think 30 days out? At least 30 days out? What are we thinking?
I think that's reasonable, yeah.
I would say at least 45 days.
Not too
We're
far.
getting in budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least 45 days.
Go too far, we got budget.
We can do 30, and if Corey and Mark, and I'm assuming they can do 30. I mean, we're getting season started on Hilton Head Island, so.
Getting this done before season kicks in.
And y'all, we have a model, right? We have the soccer fields and the tennis courts that y'all rent on a day-to-day basis, to outside entities. We have models for this. We have the Beaufort County Recycling Program, which is a great permitting process, I think.
All right, let's shoot for something along those lines.
Yeah, we'll
Communicate
we'll
with
figure it
Alice
out
to
with-
get that figured
yeah.
out, and then you guys will build your relationship and build your discussions and go from there. And then everyone's going to chip in for Dylan to have a nice dinner.
Before I leave the podium, do y'all have any questions or comments for the Low Country Waterways Alliance? Okay.
I want to say one thing. We're very happy. There's never been any idea of looking to put small guys out of business. We're very happy to work with. I think the concern came when this became open to the world, and that's where all of a sudden red flags got raised. As long as we tighten this up and make it some kind of level playing field, and you guys put we can come to a resolution with some kind of cap, totally reasonable and completely acceptable in every single way. So,
Thank you, big time.
Thank you, guys. We'll go ahead and close the discussion and let you guys get to work on that. We'll move on to our agenda items. Agenda item A, Beaufort County Historical Society is seeking permission to place a historical marker on county property at Bladen and Boundary Street. If anybody is looking to leave, because I know some of you guys are here for just that waterway, this is your chance to skedaddle. If not, you're stuck to the end listening to me. Do I have a motion to put that on the floor while people are moving?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Ms. Howard.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Get a hold of it.
All righty. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm Linda Neidich Hoffman, and I'm here as Research Secretary and Board Member of the Beaufort County Historical Society. The primary purpose of the Society, which is now, we just celebrated our 80th birthday, is to place markers throughout the county at places where significant historic events have occurred. I'm here today to request County Council's approval for placement of a marker at the southeast corner of Bladen and Boundary Streets next to the Beaufort tennis courts. The marker recognizes the existence of the Union Army encampment, which during the Civil War included all of the property from Bay Street to Boundary Street and from Bladen Street to Rebot Road. A unique feature of the encampment was that it housed, among other units, the 55th Massachusetts, which was one of the few all-African-American units in the war. We believe that this site selected is the most appropriate site for the marker because of the significance of the encampment to the history of South Carolina, Beaufort County, and its visibility to the public by having the marker at the selected location. We appreciate this opportunity to present our request to y'all and anticipate the committee's positive recommendation to County Council.
All right, we'll open it up for discussion. Can this be approved with no objection?
Yes.
All right, yes. No objection. Just a question for me, time frame and when it will be completed.
The marker is ready to be installed So it's whenever y'all approve it.
Mr. Morris pointed out that this is time sensitive. We'd like to move this to the next council meeting.
Not a problem unless Alice has any issue.
Oh, that's
No,
great.
it's her agenda. Yep.
We'll do it at the next council meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Just so everybody knows, I met with Eric Brown, the Parks and Rec Director, just to make sure he was good with the placement sign. They reached out to us.
Right over there by tennis
So
courts.
we made sure that he was good with the sign placement.
I was distracted by the bricks. I know the bricks on Boundary Spot a little better than tennis courts. All right, we'll move on to item B. If you don't love what you do, don't do it. I'm a firm believer in it, y'all. All right, approval of a contract to Gulfstream Construction for the Rivers and Drainage Improvements Project is $1,419,054.63 is the impact. Do I have a motion to put this on the floor?
Oh, I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
All righty, the floor is yours. How are you?
Good afternoon, committee members and Chairman Cunningham. I am Taylor Brewer, and I serve as your stormwater manager for Beaufort County. Today, I'm seeking approval of a contract to Gulfstream Construction Company for the Rivers End Drainage Improvements Project. Rivers End is a residential community in Okatee. The roads and drainage are owned by the county and have been failing for quite some time now. We have a 10-foot sinkhole in one lady's yard. We could just choose to replace pipe with pipe. However, there is a TMDL impaired waterway at the end of this receiving water body, so we chose to install some bioswales as well. Those mimic more closely the Earth's process of infiltration and can add some water quality benefits as well. This will be our first stormwater maintained green infrastructure in Beaufort County, so we're very excited about that.
Any questions? Only question I'd have is, I know this is right in the area where we could be seeing construction come the next couple years. Is this something that will be implemented into that construction, or will we have to basically build it and then replace it?
This is exclusive to the Rivers End community that already exists. It's kind of a self-contained closed system, so new incoming construction would not affect the project.
Awesome. Any objection? All right, this can be approved with no objection.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to C, approval of a contract to Gerald Brothers Construction, the amount of $154,234.50 for construction of Ford Shellring Park located at 273 Squire Pope Road, Hilton Head Island. Do I have a motion?
I'll do that motion.
Thank you, sir. A second?
Second it.
Seconded by Tab. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Stephanie Najid, Land Preservation Department Director. Fort Shellring is a 7-acre property that the town of Hilton Head Island and Beaufort County acquired in 2003 through the Rural and Critical Program. It is a 50-50 co-owned property between Beaufort County and the town. We are funding the construction of the passive park infrastructure. We already have an agreement with the town of Hilton Head for them to maintain it, so they are going to open and close the gate and maintain the property. The town also contributed towards the archaeological surveys that took several years to complete. This project I've been working on for over 5 years now, and we're very excited to get it going. The cost estimate of the contract plus the contingency is less than the amount that we received several years ago now for the engineer's estimate, so we're happy to see it came in under the estimate and are ready to get going. We did ask for a slightly larger contingency than normal because this is a 4,000-year-old Native American site, and so it is likely that we may come across something that we didn't know about and might need to employ archaeological services. If we find something, we have to have it documented and recorded and all that good stuff. So we're hoping we won't find anything, that our initial surveys went well, but you just never know when it comes to archaeological sites.
Chairman,
My question is, I'm looking at the AIS. So it says we have a 50-50 co-owned by Beaufort County and town of Hilton Head. So we're going to set aside $185,000 and change. How much is Hilton Head putting in there? Or they're just doing maintenance?
Well, they are doing maintenance in perpetuity, and then they've also contributed, I don't know the exact amounts, but it was over $100,000 for the archaeological surveys. The town of Hilton Head did that. They paid for that.
And they will keep taking care of the property?
Yes.
That's what it says, yeah.
Yep.
Just one question. I probably missed it in the packet, but when things are found, where are they going to be held? Is there...
They aren't. What happens is the archaeologist comes out, they record and document, and then it's reburied, but it's buried in a very specific way so that if the site were to ever be dug up again, there would be a soil difference. So any future studies would show that it was dug, reburied, and then recapped, essentially.
And we'll have a document to that effect, though, to notice and where. That's wonderful. This is good. Thank you.
It won't be accessible to the public to know where those things are, just to be clear.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably for a reason.
Right, for a good reason.
Yeah, that is all confidential information held by the state. The state's involved. They come and document.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
All right, can this be done with no objection? I see no objection. This is approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Since it's been approved, just wanted to clarify that because it's under $200,000, it does only need committee approval, and so it won't come to council.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, a couple more items here. Approval of a contract to Low Country Commercial Services, janitorial services at Hilton Head Island Airport, in the amount of $608,108.16. A motion to put this on the floor?
Your motion?
Second?
I'll second it.
John, how are you?
Good afternoon.
Doing all right?
Doing
This
great.
is the shortest meeting you and I have ever had together in the 4 years
I
we've
looked
been
at the
doing
clock
this.
a minute ago. I can't believe it.
Don't jinx it yet.
This is a fairly routine contract award. It is for janitorial services at the Hilton Head Island Airport, so it's a diverse contract because they do handle a lot of different buildings out there at the airport, the biggest of which is the terminal building, and that's it's an atypical janitorial service because it's not just a morning and a night kind of thing. It's throughout the day, and it's, they have to respond to all kinds of issues that may happen within the terminal. So we ended up handling this in the RFP format rather than doing just an invitation for bid where you're bound to the low bidder, because we knew that it is kind of a specialty service because of where we are, not necessarily the janitorial aspect, but because we're a unique client, I guess, for janitorial services. So that's why we did the RFP process. As you can see, we had 14 proposals that came in initially. So we had a lot of interest in this, but they were very diverse. So we had some that really were close to the mark and some that were way off. We did find, as we drilled down through those, that some of the ones that may have had lower prices did not appear to be adequately staffed. And then when they were asked the questions about staffing, they said, well, we'd have to staff up in different situations, which would either level up those fees or maybe cause their fees to get a little bit higher, have a question mark on them. So this is what the committee came up with, and we trust their recommendation.
This is for 4 years?
1 year.
This is a 1-year contract, and then it's got 4 additional extensions.
I was very impressed you got 14 vendors to bid. I mean, we usually struggle with 1 or 2. That's great.
Any questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I do have a question. I didn't see the specific contract in the backup material. Do you know, I recently had a meeting with the Beaufort County Department of Special Needs. Do you know if this contractor or this vendor participates in the day program to get folks from the...
I don't think they do. We looked at that once before years ago, and we were not able to match that up.
Okay.
It's probably been about 10 years since we looked at that, but we did. We made a run at that, and we just weren't able to match up the services with what our needs were.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Just one thing before you leave us. April 18th, I was going to talk about it in the council meeting on Monday, but I think Mr. Fralix and Chairman Cunningham are eager to hear from you what's going to happen April 18th at Frogmore.
Was the chairman going to run again?
Is that listen? I heard you guys.
No way I'm running again.
Wait a second. Aren't we going to have a competition, raise some money maybe or something for?
Tom, I couldn't walk for 2 days.
Mr. Moore will be there, I'm sure.
Mr. Moore? Okay.
I'm not sure we're talking about.
Another 5K.
The race at Frogmore.
You know, the one,
You were
It's not on the agenda.
I helped last year, yeah.
I got you.
Ribbon opened up the T-shirt.
What did you say? You couldn't walk for 2 days?
No, I'm so sore. Mr. Dawson.
John, if I may, this company, they located in the county?
Yes, sir. They're located on the island.
Can this be done with no objection and no commitment to the 5K? This will be approved.
Put on your calendar, April 18th.
Thank you, sir.
I'll be there to help.
Mr. Moore, that was like the first time we ever
6
met.
a.m.
Yes. Nobody told me you ran marathons for a hobby.
I remember that.
6:30.
He's run 3 in 6 days before.
Yeah.
Mr. Moore didn't even, pant.
I don't even think he unpacked his house yet.
It was
He beat me in a
flat.
5K by 20 minutes.
Yeah, he was flying. Yeah.
All right, we'll move on to E, approval of a contract to WM Roebuck for installation of a traffic signal mast arm poles at Bluffton Parkway at River Ridge Drive.
I'd like to make that motion.
Awesome. This is at the intersection. Thank you. I apologize. Thank you. This is at the intersection of the school right outside there on Bluffton Parkway, intersection of River Ridge and Hampton Lake.
Correct.
River Ridge and Bluffton Parkway.
Bluffton Parkway.
Yeah, so this has been going on for a while. This was originally contracted in 2023. When they went out there to start construction, there was going to be some, not impacts, but encroachment on the transmission lines. So we've been working with Santee Cooper for basically 2 years to get an encroachment permit to be able to build this. We finally have that encroachment permit, so this is coming back and essentially a renewal of that contract. So it did expire while they're working on that encroachment permit. So again, just basically a renewal of that contract. The intent is it was supposed to be done before 2024 started. School went back. Now we're hopeful that it can be done before school goes back in the fall semester. So
Yay, that's a win.
yes.
I just wanted to say congratulations on getting this. This was a bureaucratic mess for
It took
you.
a lot, but we finally
Yeah.
got there. So
Yeah.
Is the funding still the same amount?
I think there was a small increase of $11,000 for additional mobilization, which was actually covered on the previous contingency, but pretty much the same, yeah.
And then are they going to wait to start construction until after school ends, or what is the plan with that?
We don't know their NTP date yet, or notice to proceed, but they have 90 days after their notice to proceed, so we're thinking it'll be over the summer.
Okay.
How long does it take to install the mast? I mean, I don't know. I've seen them, but I don't pay attention.
I mean, if they're able to get out there and mobilize and, start and then not leave till they finish a week or so, I think they might have done the foundations already. I have to check on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, within a couple weeks, if all the materials are on site, they should be able to get in there and knock it out.
I want to say the foundations and some of the bolts are already
there.
I know they've done the sidewalks. I'll have to confirm the foundations. But
right.
Maybe they can start at spring break.
Possibly. Yeah. We'll have to see
when
what their
the little
schedule
people
is.
are not around.
Yep.
All right. Any objection?
Nope.
All right. This will be approved with no objection.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, there is no further business for this committee. Everybody have a wonderful week.